listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Welcome to the White Wall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On this week's episode, we feature The Thirsty River, Andrew Ryan and the Travelers, and Wes Youssi and the County Champs. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter by searching The White Wall Sessions. We are now accepting submissions for Season 7. To submit, go to whitewallsessions.com. The White Wall Sessions would like to thank these fine sponsors for their support. Last Stop CD Shop, Bell Incorporated, Workplace IT Management, J. Rick Luthery, The University Center, Screen Flare, The Pink Moon Room, Club David, Great Outdoor Store, local branded convenience stores, Minuteman Press, Vishnu Bunny Tattoo and Piercing, and South Dakota Friends of Traditional Music. The Thirsty River is a five-man string band hailing from Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is the group's second visit to the studio, and not unlike the first, the band delivered a solid performance. The Thirsty River is Evan Youngbauer, banjo and vocals, Jake Youngbauer, guitar and vocals, Ben Youngbauer, percussion, mandolin and vocals, Mike Storr, bass and vocals, and Darren Anderson, piano and vocals.
About the wayside preacher, scripture scribbled on a picket sign, and all the words that he's been screaming out something divine. Tell me what is divine, don't want to tell it. This old drunk, he's been drinking every day since before I was born. Sitting across the bar, they carry him to the door. Won't you pour me some more, and I'll keep drinking. If the world stopped screaming, if I wasn't lit, if you would just listen and sit when I say sit, if an empty rifle could shoot all the guns away, if love grew stronger when forever gone away. If the world stopped if I wasn't lit. If you would just listen and sit when I say sit. And if an empty rifle could shoot all the guns away. If love grew stronger when forever gone away.
We're here at the White Wall Sessions with the Thirsty River. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Jake Youngbauer, can you introduce the band?
I can. So this is Evan, my youngest brother. Evan Youngbauer. This is Ben. He's the middle brother. Evan plays banjo and Ben plays mandolin. What's his name again? This is Mike. He was my college roommate. He's on bass, and then Mike Storr, and this is David Anderson on piano, and he often plays some simple percussion for us too on certain songs. So
Simple.
So three
complicated percussion. Sorry,
Complex.
We've got three brothers, Youngbauer.
replaceable percussion on a lot of our songs.
Just not a full drum set. You don't have.
But he's an irreplaceable friend.
Okay.
The three brothers. We promised the fans a knockdown, drag-out fight. So what should I say to start that?
We could, if you want to actually have a fist fight, I think I'm in.
Just because, except your mother's watching, so we probably
We
should.
just need to play some driveway hockey. And,
That's usually what does
It
it.
needs to be Christmas Eve.
So
What
tell us about the Youngbauer house growing up. Was it a musical place?
Our mother signed us up for piano lessons when we were young kids. We had this piano teacher named Mrs. Wyman up the street. I remember we grew up kind of outside the outer ring of the suburbs of the Twin Cities, and we would ride our snowmobile to piano lessons. But we all kind of dropped that, and then we all were distractible kids. And then in our teenage years, we all picked up guitar and would jam together. So it was a musical place, but
our parents don't play any instruments or anything.
they both sing wonderfully, though.
My mom's not tone deaf, and my dad definitely can't. Probably. Oh, maybe. I'd never really heard him sing. Our sister is very, very. We have a sister as well, and she's very, very.
Classically trained.
Yes.
And
So
has a
she was
powerful,
kind of the
beautiful
musical
voice.
person in the family, and we more dug people that couldn't sing quite as well, and so we went that route.
We like unique voices.
And we like writing songs too. I think that was kind of how we started. So
Good. Well, Jake, you're the oldest, right? Yep. And so is Jake still the boss, or does that
No way.
change?
I would say that I'm the. Yeah, I mean, I think overall, I'm the boss. I think Evan is sort of the boss too. Evan is the most social, and
I'm probably the bossiest, but I don't know if I'm the boss.
That's for sure. Yeah. That's for sure.
Well, then you had college roommates who were sitting here also. So how did Mike? You were roommates with Jake
I was, yeah. Freshman year. We were roommates.
at U of M.
No, at UW Stout.
Oh, okay.
In Menominee.
Yep.
That's pretty cool that you ended up not just down the hall from each other, but roommates. And
Yeah,
you're still
it was random too.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good one that tolerated you for this long.
I was gonna say the same about you, bud.
Well, I beat you to it, so there.
I actually remember before they went to college, my mom and I dropped Jake off at a pool hall so he could meet Mike, his to-be random roommate. I remember that. That's my first glimpse of Mike.
Really?
Yeah, I think I initiated it. I wanted to meet him first, vet him to make sure that he's all right.
Mike looked just as glorious and beautiful back then. But he didn't have the mane. That's new.
I looked a lot different.
I knew.
It's insidious
He
onset.
didn't have the beard either.
Yeah. He was a different man.
How long has the band been together then?
Let's see. Mike, were you with us in the
6
gazebo
years.
in
No. So
Oh.
probably 5 years, I would say.
Did it start with the three of you then?
I mean, more or less, yeah.
At first-
Yeah.
My first show was in Afton at that open mic night that we went to. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, us three and Mike, and then we added David about
A
don't know,
year
A year
in.
later or so.
David played with another band that we would play with pretty frequently in the Twin Cities or out in River Falls, and then we
broke
kind of
up.
stole him.
Yeah. Well, it was a good steal because he really adds so much to the because this, you can really tell you guys have played together and you really appreciate the music. Mike, some of that bass stuff you're doing is really, really cool.
Thank you.
Did that just develop? Did you all listen to this style of music before?
Definitely
or-
not.
Benny, why don't you explain how bluegrass came into our lives? Because you were an integral part of that.
Want me to explain that?
Yes,
I don't
Benny.
know. I listened to bluegrass music. I got really into it in college. Me and Dave went to UMD in Duluth.
Sure.
And that was like when Trampled by Turtles was playing all the time. And
Pert Near
was playing there all the time.
Charlie Parr.
Yeah, Charlie Parr still had his Wednesday night residency going on. So we got a lot of like really cool local bluegrass music. And then I branched out from there and just started listening to all sorts of bluegrass music and kind of got these two guys to come to the good side. And then Mike and Dave, well, Dave listened to it, but I don't know. I'd say he's more of a rap guy.
I don't think so.
Not entirely true.
If anyone's the rap guy, I'm the rap guy.
Yeah, seriously.
I think we just all enjoyed, in the beginning, we enjoyed the live show because it's fun and engaging to watch all the different instruments. And we had all been playing guitar and whatever, and then we thought this would be kind of cool to do this. And
This one's called Sweet Darling.
Well, oh, sweet darling, take my heart right from my chest. And oh, sweet darling, hold it in your hand.
Coming up after the break, Andrew Ryan and the Travelers.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Andrew Ryan and the Travelers came to us from St. Louis, Missouri. Their tender melodies and powerful lyrics move the audience and crew alike. Andrew Ryan and the Travelers are Andrew Ryan, guitar and vocals, Patrick McCann, bass and vocals, Marie Marotti, guitar and vocals, and Orrin Hawkins on drums and percussion. We'd like to welcome Andrew Ryan and the Travelers to the White Wall Sessions. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
This was a fun session. Andrew, can you introduce the band, please?
Yeah, to my left is Patrick McCann, bass guitar. To my far right is Orrin Hawkins, drummer. And right next to me is Marie Marotti, electric guitar and vocals.
What a great style. I mean, I love these. I love it when it's genre-less, I would say. You know, it's kind of alt-rock, it's kind of everything, but it's just really good music. And I think what makes that, obviously the songwriting, but the musicianship between the four of you and the spaces you leave are really, really cool. And Orrin, let's start with you. The drummers, I always call it the Levon Helm effect. I mean, there's drums that are just holding the beat, and then there's the drummers that are like Levon that kind of play it with as much character as a guitar.
He likes where this is going.
Tell me, where'd that come from? You always played like that, or is it?
No. Actually, until I played with these guys, I played in heavy metal bands and hard rock bands. I was straight, just as fast and as loud as I could possibly be. And I think part of it also, it stems from wanting to do something different than that, but it also had physical things behind it too. I started developing tendonitis in my wrist, so instead of playing matched grip, I turned it over to traditional. And also, whenever my daughter was born, I'm going to lose it here in a second. I would hold her right here while I would practice downstairs while she was an infant.
Really?
So that's kind of how I developed that real light touch and that quiet style.
That's amazing, because it is. I mean, that touch and the little things that you do right here and there really, really add to it. I mean, it's just like it's a color instrument just like everything else. And also on bass, such cool lines, and then even some bass leads in there were pretty cool. You've been playing a long time?
Yeah. A while. Yeah, so, I just... like you were saying, there's a lot of space in this, so it really lets us express and come up with some neat stuff, and Andrew leaves room for the arrangement to breathe.
Yeah, that you can definitely feel that, because you can hear all 4 instruments individually, but then you can hear 5. I mean, vocals, we'll talk about those in a minute, but then you can also hear the collective, which makes it so awesome. Marie, your leads are really cool too.
Thank you.
You've been playing a long time?
Yeah, I've been playing a while. Played for a few years when I moved to St. Louis, and then Ryan and I met through BandMix, like a musician's networking site, and we got together, and then everything.
So it started with the two of you. Mm-hmm. And then when did you get these guys in?
Well, actually, I met Patrick first.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, through Craigslist.
A couple of weeks.
A few weeks.
The non-sketchy part was Craigslist.
Yeah.
You never know.
And then we found her next through BandMix. And then Orrin, we tried out one other drummer first. I think it was the week before or the day before, something like that.
How did we find Orrin?
Was it Craigslist too? Or was
it was Craigslist.
Okay.
Right. But at the time, we were like, okay, so we have this one drummer that has a completely open availability. He can play anytime. We have this other drummer that wants to try out, but he works nights. And we were going to to this rehearsal space that we had rented to audition these guys, and I looked at Andrew and I was like, we're going to like the guy that plays nights, that, right? And he's like, yeah, you're probably right. So the first guy comes in, very good drummer, very technical, but just wasn't the feel that we wanted. And then the next week we auditioned Orrin on his night off, and it was like a barn fire, just caught up, and everything just rolled from there.
Yeah, I can definitely hear it, because it's such it's like this band has been together for years, decades almost. How long? How many years has it been?
Almost 2.
2,
yeah. 2.
Wow.
Yeah,
just about 2.
Yeah.
So Andrew, you write the songs?
Yeah, I do. I wrote the album that was put out last October, and then a lot of the other songs we play live more, like the more rock stuff, all at the same time, and we try to figure out what to play depending on who we're playing with, other bands, styles, to be like a chameleon live. So
yeah. Well, there seems. I mean, the lyrics, read like poetry. They really paint the scene and the picture. Is that just the way you write, or do you have to really kind of work that in to make it that way?
It just kind of happens. I mean, I want it to be nice and pretty and like imagery, but I think that's just something I gravitated towards, and been able to do a little bit of it at least. Be happy with some of it. So,
what makes you want to write?
I've always been into art. When I was a kid, I used to draw a lot, and I had art classes, and I would paint, and I used to play drums in bands. So I've just always been in music, and then wanted to finally be in a band where it wasn't like, oh, this guy gets mad and quits and it's over now. You know what I mean? Just gradually over years, I started playing guitar and just kind of got into wanting to write songs and play music. And these 3 musicians are really great. So they make what I write sound even better, And they add parts that I wouldn't even think of, so.
Oh, because I was going to say that. Because like we were talking about before, the sort of texture of everyone, all that space, adds so much to these songs, I feel. I don't know them by themselves, but do you hear all that when you're writing, or do you just write the song and then these guys play?
Well, sometimes, not always. I'll always kind of hear what the drums would be doing, like not 100%, but just mostly, because I played drums since I was 14, like almost 20 years now. I just finally sold my drum kit last year, and it was the greatest thing to do. It's like burning the photos of your ex-girlfriend, and it's over with, But I'm not like as like a real drummer as Orrin is. There's totally a big difference. I would just play the radio, and he's like actually studied and like can do all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So, sorry, I got mixed up here. Wait a minute. Back up. Cut. And I've lost where I was going. So let's go back to your album.
All right.
Across Currents is the one with this lineup here, right?
Well, Patrick played bass on I think 3 or 4 of the tracks. Marie did vocals on the record, and I played acoustic guitar, some electric, and I did the drums on it. And it was kind of before we really all started playing together and met, It was kind of like already knee-deep into the whole thing.
Outside at night, under the moon, there's a winter white rose in bloom, and I just worked all night just to fight with you. And sometimes when I feel the loneliest, and sometimes when I feel the loneliest, with you, with you. Outside at night, the stars, there's a winter light, a rose in the yard, and I just worked all night just to fight with you. And sometimes when I feel the loneliest, and sometimes when I feel the loneliest, sometimes when I feel the loneliest, and sometimes when I feel the loneliest, with you, with you. sometimes when I feel the loneliest, and sometimes when I feel the loneliest, and sometimes when I feel the loneliest, and sometimes when I feel the loneliest.
Coming up after the break, Wes Youssi and the County Champs.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Wes Youssi came to the White Wall Sessions from Portland, Oregon. Wes has been caught up in some pretty wild situations throughout his life, which he captures in his Southern Blair and traditional country sound. It was a pleasure having him on Season 6, where he and the County Champs put on a rockin' performance. Wes Youssi and the County Champs are Wes Youssi, guitar and vocals, Ryan Oddie, drums, and Dan Lowinger on guitar.
Hello, South Dakota. Thank you so much for having us to your state to do the White Wall Sessions. And we're a country band, honky-tonk band from Portland, Oregon. We're going to play one of the tunes off my new record that came out in January called Ready to Run. And it's just an old country song about a set of woods that's important to me. There's a lot of them out there, but I think everybody has a set of woods that's they've had a good time with friends. It's important to them. So this one's called Ready to Run.
and take a walk. No bright lights of big cities. Yeah, I'm in the old pine trees. Call out to me, I don't come. Betty, Betty, play to run last time. Betty, Betty, play to run. Thank you.
We're here at the Whitewall Sessions with Wes Youssi and the Country Champs. Welcome.
Thank you.
From Portland, Oregon.
Yes.
So, not only you're from Portland, Wes, you are. How did you end up with these guys, this fine band here?
Oh, let's see. Well, I usually play with a 5-piece there in Portland, and for different acts that we tour on, I'll have different pickup musicians that I play with, and this arrangement was pairing our transcontinental arrangement of counties, but Dan used to live in Portland for a long time and is an excellent session player, and
that's Dan Lowinger?
Dan Lowinger, yeah. And Ryan has been playing drums with Dan for a little over a year now, and both these guys are basically fixtures in the Minnesota country and roots.
Trying.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sure.
How am I doing? Yeah.
Good. You can keep the beer.
Yeah. So, and then James, I've been playing with James pretty much since 2016, I think. He started playing with me, and James has a long history in Portland playing songwriting, playing in several bands like Junko Parker and Miller and Sasser. So the combinations that I've been playing with have happened really organically, just I think because of all of us being really passionate about songwriting, country music, and a lot of bands in Portland share members and
really,
yeah, session players. So I forget the term for that, where it's like I guess that it's a real community in that. I mean, I'm one band, but my electric guitar player plays with another country band called Honky Tonk Union, and so we all just sort of pair up for different things and play as duos. And
so it's that session, that Nashville Cats type thing. Our director of broadcast, Dave Palmer, said these guys haven't played together very long. He looked at me and said, well, they must have played together in a different life because they sound so tight, and how does that happen?
You get a good group of guys together, it's hard not to happen, really. You get a drummer like Ryan, and it's easy for a bass player like me who's not the best in the world. It's easy to get groove on, and that's the most important part. But it's just having a good group of guys that love the music and want to play, and it comes together easy. I think it's easier than it is hard a lot of times.
Yeah, I can see that because Ryan, it starts with a good rhythm section, great rhythm.
That's what I like to say.
And the stuff, the solid drumming and the little the stuff you were doing is really, really cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Been playing a long time? You play guitar in another band, yeah?
I started out playing guitar when I was in high school, and I kind of moved to drums just because everyone else was playing guitar, and they were probably all better than me. So I decided to opt over, switch to drums, and I've kind of been there ever since.
Yeah. Well, and then, Dan, a lot of times Wes would call over for a lead, and you just go right into a lead. Mm-hmm. When you're, or a solo, however you want to call it, when you're doing those, does everyone different, or is it kind of the same formula that the song sort of changes it slightly, or how does that work for you?
Well, it's often, it's kind of a formula, because in country music there's just commonality between a lot of the songs, which makes it easier to do what we just did, which is one rehearsal. They just met Ryan yesterday, that type of thing, because there's this, I guess, universal language. Like I played in a band with James in Portland, but on bass for like 4 years, so I'm used to playing with them. Like there's things that we don't need to say or talk about. But as far as the solo, especially in a situation like this, I'll go back to maybe a way that like if Wes's tune is similar to a old standard that I've played a lot, I might take something from that. But then also try to bring in a little bit of the melody or just the feel of that particular tune and what Wes is trying to do as well.
Sure. With this style of music, whether you call it honky-tonk, classic, old-time, whatever you want to call it, I just think it'll never die. I mean, it sounds great in a honky-tonk jukebox or in a AM radio of a pickup truck in a corporate boardroom or 8 seconds on the back of a bull. You know, I mean, it just sounds great everywhere. Have you all been listening to this kind of music for all your life, or did you come to it from different places?
Yeah, I grew up listening to it. Like whenever my grandmother would come to our house in Belvedere, one of the first things I remember her doing was, they mix cocktails and hang out on the porch and listen to Patsy Cline. And I think my parents were just so glad that they didn't have to watch us anymore. Like, like having a relative there meant we all had to be on good behavior for a few days. So, but yeah, once the music came out, it's just, I still go back to that in the songs. I think like as an artist, there's you want to have something that you're looking to be grounded at the same time, explore new works, if that makes sense. And in country music, it's a comfortable place to go back to. I was writing songs in 2005 and just not getting anywhere, and I read this interview by Biggie Smalls where he said, someone asked him a question about his process, and he said, if I worked at Burger King, I'd rap about burgers and fries. And it just stuck with me over and over, and I kept thinking about it, like that, maybe it's worth going back to where I'm from, truly, and mining that and thinking about that, since it's such a great place for me. And
Sitting on the corner, tapping my feet, watching them cars going down the street. A V8 memory coming to my mind. First time I learned how to ride a bike. Old country bar in a parking lot. Grandpa's blow a big smoke, 'cause I'm a Cadillac man. Yeah, I'm a Cadillac man. Maybe it's a hillbilly destiny, living too fast, the American dream. Country born in, but on the street. Well, all I could tell you what it's done to me, 'cause I'm a Cadillac man. Yeah, I'm a Cadillac man. Yeah, I'm a Cadillac man. Hey, I'm a Cadillac man.
Thank you so much, everyone.
The White Wall Sessions is recorded at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and is produced by Spectrum Films Incorporated. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger, Doug Taylor, Greggy Johnson, and Jay Fishback. Head of broadcast is David Palmer. Associate producer is Mike Yeager. The White Wall Sessions Radio is produced and edited by Jeff Zuger. Audio recording and mixing by Kevin Phipps, Chad Conrad, August Dahlgren, and David Palmer. Scheduling and artist relations, Tom Eisner. Be sure to join us again next week. Same time, same place.
You're listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.